I always like the simplicity of things. Some rapini that I picked up from the grocery store. I blanched them way back. So I layer that as well. And then a little bit of mozzarella, Parmesan, tomatoes, lasagna sheets. That's it. And then you bake about an hour or hour 15 until it's very soft. And then you cool it down before you portion it, so it's not messy. And then you can just slice and freeze them. Towards the end, you can look at your lasagna and you can decide, do I want this to be more crispier? Do I want any more color on top? So you can crank up the heat and keep cooking. It never overcooks. You can cook longer if you want, but it can easily undercook and it's very unpleasant later on. So after 1 hour, what I suggest, get a paring knife or something thin that you can put through the lasagna. You can pierce it, and then if you feel any resistant, you need to keep cooking. I'm originally from Sri Lanka, and I moved here for school. And at that time, I had a part-time job working in a restaurant, and chef saw that I'm pretty good with around food, and I seem to have a little bit of passion towards it. And he suggested go to chef school, and believe it or not, I fell in love, and I really liked the Italian food, the simplicity of it. And then being from Sri Lanka, I try to connect those Italian food. Is there any similarities from Italian food, Sri Lankan food, and what's the spice level? And, is there regionality to it? Is there Northern Italian food, Southern Italian food? So I realized that we have similarities in Southern Italian food because they do a little bit of spices that they use, just like Northern African food, like Morocco, and also in Spain, they use a lot of spices. So is Southern Italy. They use a lot of spices with their cooking. I discovered that I really like Southern Italian food. So I went to school again to specialize on Southern Italian food. And, since then I cook a lot of Italian food and work a lot of Italian restaurant in the city. My last job, I worked for a high-profile hospitality company who owned a bunch of restaurants in downtown Toronto and also owned an event venue where I was in charge of the operation of large event catering. We do serve Toronto International Film Festival. They are one of the biggest clients. Yes, it's 95% of the time they're following some sort of a diet. or mostly eliminating diet. So they're trying to figure out which things. They usually travel with. It seems like they usually travel with a nutritionist or like some sort of person, a trainer, who tells them what to eat and what not to eat in a different phases of their training or health cycle. So I had numerous celebrities who asked to cook certain type of food very nicely, but obviously a lot of pressure. You have to make sure that nothing's contaminated and then everything's up to the bar and like it's delicious at the same time. People are curious about the food. They can go to at Lakeshore Foods in Instagram and they can find me there.